Let me know.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Hello, ladies. I'm
gonna keep.
Hello, ladies.
Hey, ladies.
Oh, what's up, ladies?
Welcome to Get in the Back with Zach, where we get in the back of an Uber and annoy the driver with our conversation.
Beep.
Hello, welcome to The Meet Cute, where we talk about romantic comedies, but mostly the bad ones. My name is Zach.
I'm Edward.
And I'm Haley. Hi.
It was a rainy day in New York City earlier. Now it is a humid, hot day. The air conditioner's been off for all of 3 minutes, and all of our shirts are darker.
We're all sweaty little babies. So what did we watch?
We watched the 2005 film Rumor Has It.
Which I had never heard of before we watched it.
Me neither. It was a trip, man. This 2005 classic was directed by Rob Reiner, written by Ted Griffin. Is Rob Reiner someone?
Yeah.
Let me look that up. Okay. Oh, he's an actor.
Yeah, he's an actor, but...
New Girl.
Yeah, he's on.
Right.
More things,
Well,
too.
many other things, like The Princess Bride,
Wolf of Wall Street.
Misery, A Few Good Meds, Stand By Me, When Harry Met Sally, All in the Family. He literally he has 2 Emmy Awards.
Well,
Like,
no,
Yeah.
I think he directed Princess Bride.
He did,
and all
yeah,
those,
he
and like
directed-
Harry Met Sally.
he
might
directed.
be-
Yeah, he directed these. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's known as an actor, but he's also a big time director. As you can see by the film Rumor Has It, which we watched today.
Wow,
His crowning achievement,
He
one might say.
directed The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
That is my favorite movie in the world.
And
I
this
had
is
no
your
idea.
second favorite movie in the world, so
Yeah.
it works
How
out.
does one go from doing The Princess Bride, arguably, I think, one of the best movies ever made, to this?
I'm going to say, though, like, every famous person was in this movie, so...
They got sucked in by the
do
Rob
not-
Reiner title.
Do not throw stones. Yeah.
He held his mystical amulet in front of their face and said, I have a film for you, Shirley MacLaine. She couldn't say no. She was spellbound.
Oof,
So
literally could not.
on that, Shirley MacLaine is in the film. Kevin Costner, Jennifer Aniston is a starring role. Mark Ruffalo, Richard Jenkins, Mena Suvari, and Mike Vogel. I don't know who those last 2 names
And
are.
Kathy Bates. Let's
And
not forget
Kathy
her.
Bates was in a scene. Oh man, what a treat this movie was.
We'll get to I don't want to turn this into the Vogel cast, but
Please do, go.
Mike Vogel, I think he was in one scene in this movie. Why does he get such a high billing?
Who is he? Oh yeah, he was in one.
We won't
one
spoil it,
scene.
but he's in one, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, but he was...
Yeah,
he's
why does he
also
get
in,
Wikipedia billing?
He's also in Cloverfield and the Disney Channel original movie Motocrossed. He played like the hot brother.
Was he the moto?
No, he didn't play the hot brother. He played the love interest to the lead in Motocross.
It's funny because he looks like he would always play a hot brother. Like that looks like
Yeah.
the only role he could play.
Is it too late to turn this into the Vogel cast, though? Because-
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Vogel cast, where we talk all things Mike Vogel. I'm Zach.
I'm Edward.
And I'm Haley.
me, Mike Vogel.
He sounds super different with the little Italian
Oh,
statue
boy.
accent.
All right. We have to get into this trash movie. I don't want to like spoil it, but I feel like it's going to come up very quickly that this movie was the worst thing I've ever
Oh,
seen.
no. This is what's good. We have differing opinions today.
What?
I
Oh my God.
didn't hate this movie.
What?
It left a terrible taste in my mouth. It made me feel real weird. But I didn't hate this movie. There were some bits. There were some lines in there that I really enjoyed. But let's get into the movie, and then we can debate.
Okay, so Zach, can you give like a elevator pitch about this movie? Because you're the one who told us to watch it.
Yeah, this was basically my like pitch to Haley and Edward. I said it's a movie called Rumor Has It. It stars Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Alien, yeah.
Jennifer Aniston. It stars Jennifer Aniston and Kevin Costner, and it's about a woman who finds out that the film The Graduate is about her family.
Which is ridiculous.
I kept asking both of these people, like, this has to be a true story. This is just... And it's not. It's not based on a true story.
Not.
That means that somebody sat in a room and was like, aha! I've got an idea. Remember The Graduate? Well,
And a few years later.
Also, the poster is rumor has it ... and then the tag is based on a true rumor, which is how the film also opens.
Which is very like Fargo of it to
Right,
start
yeah,
with, like,
yeah.
this is a true story. But yeah, based on a true rumor. Jennifer Aniston opens up with some narration. She's on a plane with her fiance, Mark Ruffalo. And she talks about how she's been struggling with who she was for her entire life.
And before we meet Jennifer Aniston, she tells the story of a rumor from some town, which was basically the story of The Graduate. I've never seen The Graduate, so I did need this beginning, which basically was there was once a man who slept with a 42-year-old woman.
He was 21.
Yes, he was 21. She was 42. Then a thing happened and he slept with the woman's daughter for like 3 days, and then she left him to go marry another guy, and basically like end of story, right?
I mean, yeah, basically.
And someone wrote a book about it, and their gossipy Pasadena town
Yeah.
talked about it, and then it became the movie that we all know and love with Dustin Hoffman. Haley doesn't know and love it, but it's super good.
It's a very good movie. We're not going to talk about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's too
Welcome
good of a film.
to The Graduate Cast. I am Zach.
I'm Edward.
And I'm Haley.
And it's me, I'm Dustin Hoffman.
And also me, Mike Vogel. You think 5 hosts is too many?
Well, you're right.
Okay, so and then we basically cut to Jennifer Aniston is in a plane with Mark Ruffalo. Like we said, it's her fiance.
Jeff
Jeff is Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo is cute. Like, I don't think I knew this.
I love Mark Ruffalo.
So does my aunt. That's all. My aunt. Like,
Well, Haley, it's me, your aunt.
And me, Mark Ruffalo.
And me, Mike Vogel.
I think my aunt has like a big old crush on Mark Ruffalo. I think it's really cute.
It's understandable. He's
Yeah.
like a really good actor. B,
Yeah,
he
he's like a
seems to be
good
like
guy,
a good guy.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But he's like especially cute in 2005, and I don't think I ever like pictured Mark Ruffalo as like a cute guy. So this is fun
Well,
for
you
me.
were also 13, and I don't know too many like 8th graders who are like have like pictures of Mark Ruffalo up on their wall.
No, I had a picture of Daniel Radcliffe that I like cut out from. No, I like printed it off my computer from
Yeah.
like age 12 to 15. It was in my
'Cause,
locker.
you know, it's appropriate. I had a big poster for the movie Saw in my room. We all were different children.
He did. It was so scary.
Different strokes.
Okay. So they're on a plane. They're going to Jennifer Aniston's, whose name in this movie is Sarah. They're going to her sister's wedding, and she's all upset because she's never felt like a big part of her family. Like, she's like, I don't even know my sister, and I'm like, you know, one of her bridesmaids, and blah 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 blah. And she brings her boyfriend to meet the parents, and she doesn't want to say that they're engaged. She's all like weird about it.
She's using her excuse of like, I don't want to upstage my sister's wedding.
Right.
But there's a little tentativeness in it, as
Yeah.
if she's, maybe does she want to marry this guy? Who's to say?
Yeah. So now, I mean, I was confused at this point, like early on, because usually when a romantic comedy starts with a couple, it's like, oh, we're not going to like the main character's significant other, because what's going to happen is they're going to meet someone better and realize that person treated them badly. And that's usually the pattern we follow.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, Mark Ruffalo's like a good guy.
No,
So
that's what
I was like, they should get married. What's wrong with this?
not to spoil all of it, but he was like a really good guy throughout the entire movie.
Yeah. We were never once rooting against him.
No.
I mean, okay, I'm gonna not to play, devil's advocate, devil in
Please.
this term, Jennifer Aniston. You know her name. He was a bore. He was a nice guy, super good,
But
successful.
there was no reason for us to hate him. Usually it's like in a romantic comedy, it's like we start off with a couple and the guy is like, I don't know, like says weird stuff about
His
her
name's
butt
like
or
Biff,
something.
and he's got 3 arms. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Jason Sudeikis in What Happens in Vegas, where
Right,
he's
right.
like, he's a fine guy, but like he's not right for her. Like,
Right.
you don't like the
Yeah.
way he has like a view of what she should be and whatnot.
Right, exactly.
And sometimes they're not even a nice guy. Like, I thought Jason Sudeikis was like a fine dude in that movie.
Yeah.
Right,
It's just
right.
like clearly they weren't right. I was like, no, this adds up. They try and sneak off into the plane bathroom and do it, and it goes bad.
And
Which
they-
was... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
I just had a note on that. So they try to go
Join the Mile High
make
Club.
love in the don't be so crass. Make love in the airport bathroom. And she says, "I'm gonna go in. You wait a few minutes and then knock 3 times." She goes in. He says, "It's been a few minutes," and he gets up like immediately. Like the door has just clicked shut.
Right.
He gets up, knocks twice. I'm like, dude, you're a lawyer.
Also, she gave you that info 30 seconds ago. Like, how did you forget the number of times to knock?
"Oh, I'm gonna get kissed."
So it's a very small airplane bathroom, as all airplane bathrooms are. And at one point, she pushes him onto the toilet, and he says these words: "I'm being sucked, and not in a good way," which I thought was very funny.
I think we missed that.
Was it a good line? No. Did it make me laugh? No. But I thought it was very funny.
You sat there and you went,
Interesting. What is a good way?
So let's cut to they land in Pasadena. They're reunited with the family. And kind of Jennifer Aniston's already is like, I don't belong to these people. Like my family sucks, and they're kind of like good people.
They're like fun. They're like wasps, but
yeah,
they're like
but
fun
they're like
people.
fun and like cute. And she's like, they're all blonde and I'm not, and they like tennis and I don't.
That was consistently her reasoning for not feeling part of the family.
everybody knows that enjoying tennis is genetic.
It's a nature versus nurture thing.
She's like, and my dad drives so slow. There's no way we could be a family
Like,
together.
my dad's super good at the tuba. I didn't inherit that.
No, you were bad at the tuba, weren't you?
I was real bad at the tuba.
So maybe your family's, it's based on The Graduate. Is your
Also,
your
I'm
whole
sure anyone
upbringing.
listening is like, A, why is his dad super good at the tuba? B, why does he bad? Why they got so many tuba experiences? Welcome to the TubaCast with just me, Zach, and my co-host, Mike Vogel. Mike?
I've never seen a tuba before. I don't know. I imagine that's what he said.
Yeah.
So we're in Pasadena. We meet her sister and the guy she's gonna marry. Not too much to talk about. She's cute and dad's nice. And
like
then
fine.
her grandma shows up. Her grandma is played by,
Shirley MacLaine.
and she is a delight.
She
like
is
I
the
wish.
best part of the film.
She is. So my grandma like passed away when I was like 17 or 18, and you know, I feel like now this is what my grandma would be like, and we would get along so well now that I'm older. Like I would just like ask her a million questions, and I'm sure all her answers would be like these Shirley MacLaine-isms.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, and I've only met her for I met her for maybe 30 seconds, and she was wearing a long cheetah coat and red lipstick, and I was
She
like,
was-
absolutely, this woman.
A character. Like she was awesome then. I think now that I'm like a few years older, I would really enjoy her.
So Shirley MacLaine is very just like, I'm doing a motion here that it.
She's doing a flowy, like,
Yeah, she's just
waspy, like,
yes, waspy, but with attitude.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, nobody steps on my toes, and she wears sunglasses, like the oversized 2005 sunglasses, whenever she walks out the door.
She's always got like a martini glass in her hand.
a constant martini glass and a cigarette. And the first thing she asks is, how's the journalistic career? Because, of course, we find out that Jennifer Aniston is a journalist or trying to be a journalist.
She writes obituaries.
Yeah.
Which
But I'm
is
sorry, it's
the
still,
top
she's
job.
trying to be a journalist, which is just like, always. Why is that the only career that girls in romantic comedies can have?
Well, you can only have
Or a teacher, I think.
two options. You're a teacher, you're a journalist, or I guess third option, you're a wife.
Yeah. And once you become a wife, you lose all of your career ambitions.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
I would, if that were true, I'd be a wife so fast.
Oh boy, the pressure would be off.
Just hang out. God. But of course, it's not how it is, which is fine.
Nope.
Probably for the best. Richard Jenkins plays Jennifer Aniston's dad, which leads me to the question, how is Shirley MacLaine
Right.
the grandmother if Richard Jenkins is the dad?
Let's look up their ages.
Yeah,
we
Richard
should have done that
Jenkins
earlier.
is currently 71, and Shirley MacLaine is currently 84.
So, you know,
Okay.
13-year-old parent? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, he needed to be at least how much?
Well, no, she
So-
wasn't. Then again, she wasn't the mom to
To
Richard
him,
Jenkins.
right.
So maybe
Yeah.
he was several years older than her
Yeah.
daughter. Maybe she still had her
Sure.
daughter.
Maybe he was like 10 years older. Like
But
a decade older.
generation-wise, it looks weird as all.
It-
Like
yeah.
they're of the same generation
Yeah.
at the end of the day, so it's weird.
They're only, what, like 9-10 years apart? Is that what we said? I already forgot their
I
ages.
also
71 and 84.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like
13
years
Yeah.
apart. Yeah, that looked weird to the point where it's like Zach and I got into a little argument when we were like recapping, and he was like, and that was her mom. I was like, no, that was her grandma. And I don't know. That's just not worth saying.
I was like, surely
It's
not.
Yeah.
And Shirley MacLaine.
Okay, so it seems like Jennifer Aniston and Shirley MacLaine have a good relationship as grandma and granddaughter.
Which,
and,
like,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe.
Jennifer Graniston, sorry.
sweet.
No, I don't know. If she's so concerned about not feeling a part of the family, but she has such a strong connection to her
Yeah.
grandmother, maybe shouldn't she be like,
My family's okay.
Yeah.
Right, and the thing we don't mention is that her Jennifer Aniston's mother died when she was 9 years old.
When Jennifer Aniston was 9 years old, not the
was
mom.
9 years old. So I don't know. I guess she had to have a strong relationship with her grandma. So like, what's the problem?
Well, she doesn't like tennis, so
Yeah,
They were failed from the start.
yeah. They were never gonna figure it out because not everyone in this family loves tennis.
So Jennifer Aniston goes to hang out with blonde Kathy Bates.
But we have to say why.
Oh.
'Cause we
you
didn't
said-
get there.
Oh, you're right. You know what? I really jumped the gun.
You
because
really jumped the gun.
I've
Yeah.
been itching to talk about blonde Kathy Bates
oh boy.
for so
Hold on to it.
long.
Hold on to it.
Oh.
So Jennifer Aniston and her grandmother are just talking, and she's basically telling her grandma that she's like, "Oh, I don't know about getting engaged. Ooh, I don't know about getting married. Yucky." Edward will say.
Anyway.
So basically something slips where grandma is like, well, your mother, like 3 days before her wedding went off and like had a fling with some other guy.
Yeah.
And she was like, whoa, what?
And then, like, right afterwards, Richard Jenkins was like, your mom and I got married at a specific date, blah, 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 blah. And Mark Ruffalo's like, wow, that's so weird. You must have been conceived that night or very around the wedding.
Or like right before the
Right,
wedding,
right,
right?
right.
And so Jennifer Aniston was like, what?
The math!
The math! I might not be part of this family because I don't like tennis and these dates don't line up.
Right.
So she goes to investigate further. Who
is blonde Kathy Bates?
supposed to be
Who
mom's best
isn't
friend.
blonde Kathy Bates?
Blonde Kathy Bates is supposed to be.
Oh, and just to clarify,
God.
we're not saying it's like an actress who looks like a blonde Kathy
No,
Bates.
no.
It's Kathy Bates dyed very blonde.
Platinum blonde.
For one, I thought, like, surely I was like, she'll come back
She'll be
later
back,
in
yeah.
this movie.
3-minute scene.
It's a cameo appearance by the blondest Kathy Bates Hollywood has to offer.
So Kathy Bates plays her Jennifer Aniston's mother's best friend. So she goes to talk to her to try and get some information out of her to figure out who this man was that her mother had run off with.
Mm-hmm. And she brings her the yearbook of, like, their, I don't know what, their high school class or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, it must be that guy. And what's his name? It's
Bo Burrows.
Bo Burrows, which Jennifer Aniston is like, Bo Burrows, but Benjamin Braddock in The Graduate. BB, that's it.
Well, it was also because they discovered the author of The Graduate went to the high school too.
Benjamin Braddock, blonde Bates.
It all adds up. Blonde Bates, you're my dad.
And the rest of the movie was all B's. And that was weird as hell.
Oh, boy. This is the B movie, a podcast.
Oh my god! So they figure out that Charles Webb went to the high school, and then like for some reason Kathy Bates just puts it together in that moment
Right.
too. She's like, but what? I never thought of that.
But bewilderment by Billiam before.
Yeah, keep doing B's.
I don't know.
So basically,
I'll leave it to
Jennifer
BKB.
Aniston here is suspicious that it's always been a rumor that The Graduate was based on a true story in her hometown, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh shit, that might be about my family," and Bo Burrows might be the guy. So I have to go find him because this could be my daddy. What?
Oh, not to spoil anything, but he was her daddy.
Ew.
Anyway.
Okay, so
So that's a wrap on. That's a series wrap on blonde Kathy Bates. Just want to get that out of the way.
she's done. She literally brings her Bloody Marys and then goes, "What?"
That's all we get for BKB.
And so she goes to Mark Ruffalo with this info that like Bo Burrows might be her dad, and Mark Ruffalo is like, that's cool, yeah, go chase your dreams or whatever. Like, I'm fine if you want to go look for Bo Burrows, which is again like a very nice thing for Jeff Ruffalo to do.
Right. So Jeff Ruffalo.
I think that was his character name. I think it was Jeff
They
Ruffalo.
kept the last name.
So they go to the airport to go back home. Mark Ruffalo goes to New York, and she goes to San Francisco to hunt down Bo Burrows, who is like Silicon Valley type.
Right.
He's like
she like
in
very
the internet.
easily tracked
really quickly
him down
figures out where he is.
within the era of flip phones. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember she first walks in and sees him at like he's giving a speech at some conference, like a tech conference.
Yeah.
And
about the internet.
His entire speech is nonsense.
It's
makes
buzzwords.
That's what I said. I
Yes.
said Bo Burrows giving a nothing speech about the internet. Like that was nothing. He was just like, the internet revolution is here. It's the internet, and it's here, and it's now. It's
Good.
the
yes.
internet.
Now, I think it's important just to clarify. So she's going because she realized Bo Burrows is her actual father, and she wants to meet her dad.
Yeah.
At this point in the movie, for some reason, I like forgot that immediately. I had like a lapse in understanding, and I said out loud to Haley,
turned to me and
I was
said-
like, "Oh no, is she gonna fall in love with Kevin Costner?" And then I was like, "Oh wait, no, he's her dad."
But
But yeah,
we'll get there.
Neither one's wrong. Anyway,
So she introduces herself to him. They talk, and basically she asks, like, I think you could be my dad. Did you guys do it when you guys, like, you and my mom were in Mexico for 3 days? And he was like, yeah, we did it. And she very earnestly asks, like a mother, did you wear a condom? Which was horrifying.
oh boy.
And did he say yes?
No, I think it. Did she say that you might be my father yet?
No.
Okay.
She was just like, laying out the possibility so he could guess before she could offer it up.
Maybe he figured it out then. I can't mega remember. You guys saw this more recently, but
Very
he
recently.
was like, "Do you think that you're my daughter?" That's my Kevin Costner. I'm really working on it for my tight five.
Kevin Costner has a notoriously like rich voice.
Sherry Niles.
But so basically they're talking, and then he's like, I'm sorry I'm not your dad because I had blunt testicular trauma. And then they talk medically about penises for what feels like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So what happened to him? He was playing soccer.
Yeah.
And some guy kicked him in the nuts so hard that
Yeah.
he can't have children anymore.
Yeah. So it's impossible that he is her father. And that really bums her out. And so Kevin Costner feels bad, and then they go out.
And then, yeah.
They have some drinks to, just talk and feel better. And
this is important. They don't
Yeah.
have that many drinks.
No. It just shows them like in a bar. I thought they had food more than
We'll
drinks.
talk about why it's important in a second, but hold on to that thought
Yeah.
just to know.
They had like
They did not
a
have that
few
many drinks.
maybe like one or two. I counted
Yeah.
on their table. It
It
wasn't
was
that
not
many.
many.
Maybe it was red wine. It was probably not a big deal.
No.
And then Jennifer Aniston, like, he's dancing with her. It feels very like paternal, and I'm like, oh, maybe they'll have like a, maybe they will find out that it's really
Or maybe
her
they
dad.
think,
Maybe,
they'll realize that a blood relation doesn't really matter. They can
Right. So they're like slow
She can
dancing
find
in
the
this
father she
bar, and it
never had.
feels
Yeah.
it feels very like sweet. And then she goes to the bathroom, like adjusts herself, and then comes out and just starts kissing on him.
Let's she kisses him.
Yeah.
And while there may or may not have been an intention for him to kiss her, this is on her.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is all on her.
She went for it,
Right.
and there was, I'm gonna say, no chemistry.
Well, I'm going to say I still wasn't sure that he wasn't her father.
Me too.
Yep.
Yeah, because I don't know, that was what, half an hour in where he was like, I'm sterile, and I was like, are you?
It didn't feel like it felt from just like a general plot like mapping device. It
Right,
felt like
yeah.
there's more to the story.
Right.
I wrote in all caps, ew. And Haley said out loud, they have the chemistry of 2 textbooks.
That's funny.
I wrote that down.
That's good.
Thank you. I'm so funny. So she kisses Kevin Costner.
And
God.
you think, surely that must be it. And then cut to next morning.
She's wakes up in his bed with his enagrammed sheets that say BB, which
like
I
right
love.
next to her
and
face.
then they wake up and she's like looking at his room, all the like fancy stuff and all the fancy people he's met for like a 25-minute montage of her just like looking at his nice stuff.
Who were the people he'd met? He'd met like Bill Clinton.
Yeah, Bill Clinton. There was like a Middle Eastern man.
Muammar Gaddafi?
Maybe.
Who did he... Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
Like the devil.
Yeah.
And then I think, I am almost 100% certain, way in the back, there was a picture of Kevin Costner with Rob Reiner. And if that's the case, that's the greatest little Easter egg in any movie.
I would go back and look at that.
I think that happened.
So she goes to him. He's like doing yoga on the front lawn. And then they say like, oh, we drank so much. We're so hungover. Bitch, no, you didn't. Like, you had like 2 drinks. You should not be this hungover.
Yeah, and like they're like, oh, well, we were very drunk. That's why we did all that. And I was like, you weren't.
You were nursing the same glass even though you changed locations.
Because if in a movie, if you're going to say you're very drunk, you have to show them being very drunk.
Yeah, like they need a
Right.
slow zoom out of the table to show that there's like 12 empty beer bottles.
Also,
on it.
drunk scenes are like fun in movies. They didn't show us one. So like, I don't know.
They danced that one time, thank you very much.
In a very paternal,
She adjusted
caring way.
herself in the bathroom.
Yeah. So she's like, take me back. I need to go home. This was a mistake. And he's like, but was it? Why don't you get on my private airplane and we'll go to wine country together. And then you can come to a fancy charity event with me. And she pretty easily is like, okay.
Well, to be fair, she doesn't have a car.
True.
He is her right now. I don't know.
Only way
it's
around.
2005.
You're right.
We didn't get to this, we didn't cover this, but Mark Ruffalo accidentally left his cell phone in her purse.
Yeah.
So she's got his phone. Mm-hmm. She's like trapped here. This is a
Yeah, she actually does at one point say,
situation.
she's like, do I even have a choice in the matter? And he's like, you'll have fun. I like you. And so she does, I guess.
Yeah.
Is this a funny character? Like a guy who is like a rapper, but who's like a Broadway rapper, like a theater kid, but he wants to be like a rapper too. So it's all like very Broadway heavy references and like samples. And
You
stuff.
mean like not Lin-Manuel, but like a quick rapper?
Yeah, like my name
but
is-
it's specifically
Hey, I'm
Phantom of the Opera.
kind of
themed.
like, hey, I'm Glenn Robertson. I'm 15 years old, and I didn't get cast in my school production of South Pacific.
His name's
So-
DJ Wicked, but it's spelled with a Y.
There's something there's a lot of
something
options,
there.
right?
Yeah.
And he decides to put out like a mixtape and stuff. So to try to be like real hard, but it's all like Broadway references and stuff. Is that like a funny character?
That could work.
That
And
could
he's,
work.
like,
What
very
made you
theater
think
kiddie.
of that?
Kevin Costner, obviously.
No, it's kind of a side thought, but I figured like, what better time?
This is
to,
an open
to
chance to share.
workshop it.
Yeah.
Like right now.
My name is what? My name is Evan Hansen.
Yeah.
Chicka chicka Evan Hansen.
She makes me keep my pants on like my name is Evan Hansen. Like it's fucking.
There's something there.
This is a good character.
This is the Evan Hansen cast. Oh no, that didn't work at all.
What are you talking about?
Ow, that was so loud.
Ooh.
Hey, so that sounds like a good place to take a little breather. I don't know. Let's go on the internet and surf the web. We'll be right back. Okay, so let's go back to the movie we're talking about.
No.
If you guys have any thoughts or suggestions or like notes on my character Glenn Robertson, the name might change. Hit us up at meetcutecast@gmail.com or at meetcutecast on Twitter and Instagram. Exclusively looking for notes on Theater Kid Rapper.
Yeah, none of this rom-com stuff.
Oh my god. Okay, so she ends up going with him. They go to this really fancy charity event. She has a beautiful silver gown, which
How did she get?
I don't know.
She was in wine country.
Yeah. She must have picked a dress out of the
The vineyard?
vineyards.
Is it Martha's? Get it? Martha's Vineyard? Anyone? Okay, I'll leave.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah, leave.
Okay.
All right, now back to the Trash and Preckcast.
Oh my
Zach and
god.
Haley.
Can I join in? It's
Sure,
me,
Mike.
Oh my god. So she's dancing with him all night. They're having a good time. Eventually he leaves and a young hot guy named Mike
Vogel.
Vogel.
Mike Vogel.
Well, his name is like Blake or something like that.
Blake Vogel.
He's all
Blade
like,
Vogel.
you're pretty, want to have sex? And she's like, excuse me, who are you anyway? And she's like,
Actually, never mind. Yes. Is there an airplane bathroom nearby?
and she's like, and he's like, oh, I'm Bo Burrow's son. And she's like, what? He said he can't have kids, so I fucked my dad.
For nothing?
Oh boy. And she did what we were all like doing through most of the movie, which she like dry heaved. She was like,
Yeah.
Honestly, when that moment happened, I was like, oh my God, why did they write this? Why would someone make this? This isn't funny.
Disgusting. Nothing about this was good. And then she finds out from Bo Burrows that in fact his son was artificially inseminated by a donor, and they've never told him, so like keep it quiet, bitch.
which like is still seems like another easy out from the writers. Just like,
Yeah.
no, that's like my half son. Yeah, it's cool.
But also that was such a short-lived conflict. It's like, why did that
Right.
character even need to be there? Just so we could have a moment of scare of I fucked my dad. No.
You guys remember the Lonely Island song, I Fucked My Aunt?
Yes.
Is a like, I don't think they ever made a video for it.
What came out first? Did this? Did they
Yes,
hear that
this
song
came
and they
out
were like,
first.
"Wait a minute, rumor has it."
Fuck my aunt. Oh my God. It was on, I think it was on the Whack album. No. Was it on the Whack album? Because it was Incredibad, Turtleneck and Chain, then the Whack album. And it was
This
the
is
Whack
what the
album.
people signed up for, where they
Yeah,
listen to this
And it was
podcast.
their second collaboration with T-Pain after I'm on a boat. And it's so funny.
It slaps.
But it does, and it's hysterical.
They always do. Anyway,
They always do.
Oh, baby.
so Bo Burrows explains it to Jennifer Aniston, and all of a sudden she's like, I'm sorry I called you disgusting. And then
and
just
maybe
starts,
my dad.
and maybe my dad. So she just starts like complimenting him to like make it up to
Oh,
him.
yeah.
And there's this weird scene where she's like, you're smart and you're handsome, and he just keeps like gesturing to like keep
And it was
like
at this
compliments
point
coming.
that I made two notes. One was, am I supposed to be rooting for Jen and or Kevin Costner? Because I don't like either of them at
Right.
Yeah.
all. Neither are the hero. And my second note was just the words, weird fucking movie.
Yep. So they make up. Jennifer Aniston is kissing him, and then they pull away, and we see Mark Ruffalo watching.
Jeff Ruffalo,
Jeff
because
Ruffalo
the
watching.
entire time he'd been calling his phone, and she hadn't been answering because she's in wine country and
Fucking Kevin
has
Costner.
been kidnapped essentially by Kevin Costner.
Her dad boyfriend.
Her dad.
Ew, ew, ew.
And so so he tracked them down. There was a small scene of him like calling his office several times and like
Yeah.
trying to find out where he was. And so Mark Ruffalo tracked them down essentially to this party.
Yeah.
And so he sees him and his probably daughter making out, and so he's angry.
Like, gross.
Yuck.
He's really upset. She's like, he kissed me, and he's
Which
like,
is not
okay,
true.
did you sleep with him? And she doesn't answer, and he's like, well, you fucked up. That's gross. And then she's like, but I love you. I do want to marry you. And he's like, okay, let's go do it. And she doesn't. She's like, yoink. Well, it's getting hot in here.
Here's the thing.
I just slept with my dad boyfriend.
And he's like, wrong answer, and he leaves. I mean, that's literally what he says.
No, I know. It's literally not what she says, which
No.
was a funny response.
So she's like, well, fuck this. I'm going back to Pasadena to see my family, I guess, because that's all I've got left. So she goes to Pasadena, tells her grandma.
She knocks on the door.
Yeah.
Shirley MacLaine opens the door, and Jennifer Aniston is visibly upset. And Shirley MacLaine says, "Come in. I'll put her on a pot of bourbon," which I thought was very funny.
Cute.
Still not well written, but very cute.
Cute. Shirley MacLaine said it. So it was good.
It's good.
It'd be like sad if Richard Jenkins' character
Right.
said
He's
it.
like, "Come in. We'll put on a pot of bourbon.
Did-
I was in
just
shape
like-
of water."
Okay, so next
anyway.
comes what feels like a 45-minute scene where Shirley MacLaine's freaking out because Jennifer Aniston slept with Bo Burrows, and she's like, why did you do that? How could he, that little twerp? Ah, ah! And then they get a phone call from the dad. It's like, Annie, your sister is having a panic attack. Ah! And it's just a 45-minute scene of the two of them screaming, and then on the other line, the sister and the dad screaming.
And they're all screaming like a four-way thing, and
it was so weird.
It was strange.
It was so weird. They were all just like, what? What? Who said that? I'm the worst person in the
It
world.
was very like slapstick in a movie that was not slapstick.
But
Right.
it wasn't tight enough or like clean enough to make sense like that. So it was just a lot of sensory overload.
Yeah. A lot of auditory, sensory
And
stimulation.
It was around this time that I wrote, I don't get this movie. I don't like this movie. I'm confused by the structure and pacing, and what I'm supposed to be understanding is the plot. Like I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah. So the sister wants Jennifer Aniston to come fix her anxiety because she had an anxiety attack on the way to her honeymoon. And she's like, the only one who can fix this is my sister that I don't don't have an established relationship with.
She doesn't like tennis.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not related.
So Jennifer Aniston comes over and they have a talk.
He's like, you got here way too fast. You must not be in this family.
Your driving is too fast. You can't be related to me. So they talk and she's like, I don't know. I freaked out. Like, did I make a mistake marrying him? And Jennifer Aniston's like really calm and asks, like, do you like hanging out with him? And she's like, yeah, we always have fun. She's like, then you're marrying your best friend and you did a good thing. And
Which is like a good point.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you did it. You have fun with your husband. He's your best friend. So you did right. And then they're fixed. And then
she says, like, you think you got problems. I just slept with the guy who slept with grandma and my mom.
right.
Which I guess they bonded over? I don't know.
Yeah, they bonded over. She's like, dish girl. Yes. Tell me the deets.
Right. Which is not like, I don't know, if I went up to anyone and was like, I just slept with the same woman my dad slept with. That's not cool. Nobody would be like, oh, nice. They'd leave me alone. So that's all.
Yeah. So then it shows outside the window, we see that Beau Burrows, in fact, came to Pasadena in his fancy car to talk to Jennifer Aniston. And Mrs. Robinson herself, Shirley MacLaine, is like, oh, bitch. And she puts on her oversized sunglasses and her martini glass and walks out to go talk to him.
And she says, shit in your shoes.
Yes.
What?
Yes. She walks out and tells him.
He says something. He's like, well, you look well. And she says, shit in your shoes.
Which I also want to point out, at one point in the movie, Shirley MacLaine was talking to Jennifer Aniston and Mark Ruffalo was in the room. And she goes, go play with your dick, Jeff.
Which I thought was great.
It wasn't even that proclaimed. Like she was like looking for him to leave, and then she goes, go play with your dick.
And like pushes him out
I was
lightly.
Like, he's a successful lawyer.
But she's Shirley MacLaine.
So
everyone's on the lawn talking to Kevin Costner, and even the dad comes out. And
But
we're like, oh no, he's going to find out that his wife cheated on him.
Yeah, and he's like, wait a minute. You look familiar. You're the guy who I played soccer against that one time. Remember when you were kicked in the balls?
By me?
By me? And it's like, I don't know. He's not upset to see him. He's just
Yeah.
like, oh, we played soccer back in the day.
But he's also not even curious as to why he's on his lawn.
Yeah, not at
He's
all.
just like, oh, that guy I kicked in the dick years ago. Good to see you. I'm going to go back in the house.
You still fertile, buddy? No. All right.
And goes back in the house. And that's when I wrote the note, this movie is nothing. So that's settled. Basically, Jennifer Aniston is like, I can't do this anymore. I got to be the one to stop this. Go home, Kevin Costner.
And Shirley MacLaine and Kevin Costner kind of make up. They're
Yeah.
like, we're both holding on to the past.
Right.
Shame on us. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, is that a series wrap for Beau Burrows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
who I think is now is an appropriate time that my like Pavlovian response every time they said Beau Burr I was like, they're gonna say Bo Burnham.
Oh, I was going to go with Beau Bridges, but that's because I'm 48.
Bo Bridges, Bo Burnham, Bo Burrows, Benjamin Braddock,
Benjamin Button.
Blonde Bates.
Ah!
That's 10 B.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I want to see
Welcome
an
to
edit
the
of
Math Cast.
I want to see an edit of this movie where it's just the same movie, but they replace Bo Burrows with Bo Burnham. And every time Bo Burrows is on screen, it's just replaced with Bo Burnham.
Like a cutout of him with like the mouth just kind of like opening and closing.
Yeah.
Like a puppet.
So series wrap on Bo Burrows, and then she goes back into the house, and Dad reveals to her that he knew about the fling with Bo Burrows for years.
But he wasn't upset because, as he put it, he's not upset because he got the mom and Bo Burrows didn't, which I thought was a very adult thing.
It was like extremely, like that's not a word.
But like
Extremely well-rationed.
It was a very well-rationed food.
Everybody was fed, but not overfed.
Okay, stop.
It's a very communist film.
It was like, I don't know, he had like a good head on his shoulders about it. He was like, she came back to me because she loved me, and he was an adventure, but to the mom, I guess, Richard Jenkins was someone that she could have a life with, and she realized that now. And
Right. What was it? I guess I didn't. Oh yeah, no. She said that loving Bo was an adventure, but she felt that she could build a life with me. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like sweet, and he was like, I can forgive you, and they got married. And in fact, the night that she came back, he tells his daughter, like, the night she came back, we conceived you.
And that condom, it was not on, let me tell you. But I wasn't kicked in the nuts playing soccer, so I had you.
Guess what? You're my daughter. And she's like, oh, yes, thank you for telling me that extremely clinical and medical, like, I don't know. A lot of this is like penis talk. I feel like half the movie.
Welcome back to Penis Talk.
Penis Talk.
With me, Mike Vogel. Just me, Mike Vogel.
No one else.
No guests. It's 3 hours twice a week, and it's exactly what you hoped it wasn't.
No, but it really felt like every other scene they were just like, well, this is how penises work.
And mine doesn't. That's my other Kevin Costner impersonation.
And Shirley MacLaine would probably like drag on a cigarette and be like, whose does, or something sassy.
So something about this penis talk makes Jennifer Aniston go, you know what? I love Mark Ruffalo, and I would marry him in a heartbeat. So she goes back to New York and begs him to take her back, and he's like, nah, bitch. And then she gets in an elevator to leave.
Wait.
Okay,
she says something that I... Oh, did I not write it down?
Because she does say, like, he's like, what are you back here? And you're like, oh, you can't live without me now? It doesn't work like that. And she's like, I can live without you, but I don't want to. Which I actually liked that line.
That was a really nice line.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't write that. Oh, I was running out of space. But I really liked that line. There were some gems in here in this film.
I think that would be a really good line in a better movie.
Right. Yeah, that's a good note. Like, there were some tender moments and some like really realistic relationship things. This just wasn't the place for it.
Right.
Anyway, Mark Ruffalo doesn't forgive her.
Yeah, not right away.
And so she gets on the elevator and she's like, but I had sex with my dad. And then she gets to the lobby, the door opens, and Mark Ruffalo's there, visibly out of breath, so you know that he ran down the stairs.
Yeah.
And he says something while frowning out of one side of his mouth, which is
what he does. But what he actually says is, on one condition, if we have a daughter, Bo Burrows isn't allowed anywhere near her.
Because comedy masks pain.
Yeah.
This man has interrupted so much of Mark Ruffalo's life.
So much of Jennifer Aniston's life.
Yeah.
Like, also, what does Kevin Costner have in this movie?
Like $1 billion, I guess
the money, but he didn't back then.
Remember when I mentioned Rob Reiner's mystical amulet earlier? That's what it is.
That's what he has.
Because he's not groomed like a hot old guy.
Well,
and he doesn't.
In The Graduate, Dustin Hoffman's not exactly like charismatic. He's kind of.
Yeah, he's a little bit like shrewish in his own.
Right. He's kind of
but
like,
I feel like
I've got my hands in my pockets.
Clearly, like written like a guy though.
One of my favorite
because
lines.
Which is why I'm like, do I want to watch The Graduate? Because it's like always like these dud guys that are like get all the girls.
It's a great film.
Yeah, but like what? That's stupid.
Also, he doesn't get the girl.
I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, but what I'm saying is, in
this movie,
he gets 3 girls.
Yeah.
He gets multiple women in this movie, and he's like a dud. Like that wouldn't happen. Like he doesn't have a magical penis. In fact, his dick famously doesn't work.
Maybe in 2005, Kevin Costner was like a different like hawk. I mean, like you had cutouts of Mark Ruffalo, so maybe you had cutouts of Kevin Costner too, Ellie. But as a general zeitgeist, maybe like Kevin Costner was like the hot dude.
No, he wasn't.
Richard Gere was 2003's sexiest man alive.
Boy.
This was 2 years later.
Didn't he have a mouse in his butt or something? I don't know much about Richard
Welcome back
Gere.
to
the Mouse in the Butt cast.
Oh my
With me,
God.
Richard Gere.
And me, the mouse that was in Richard Gere's butt.
Okay, so we gotta wrap this movie up. They get married. I'm just gonna Jennifer Aniston and Mark Ruffalo. They're cool with it, and they get married. And the end.
Yeah,
The
what
end.
was there a button? Was there
The
any
button
sort of
was
button?
if we're gonna do this, our hypothetical daughter can't go near Beau Burrows,
Oh.
and then they go deal,
So
and then
the denouement is just sort
in
of
the
like,
credits it
we got
shows
married.
them getting married.
Huh.
Yeah, and that's the movie, and
that's rumor has it.
I hated it.
So let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
And then we're going to reconvene and go through our ratings of this film, which I have a gut feeling will be on the lower end of the spectrum.
We'll see, won't we?
We'll find
Rumor has
out.
it the numbers are bad. We'll be right back.
And we're back. Hi. So let's rate this trash.
Alrighty. So first category, of course, is...
Wait, what are we rating this out of? Like, what is this?
Let's do 1 out of 5 testicles that doesn't work.
Disgusting. Let's do
one
it.
out of 5 useless testicles.
1 out of 5.
Aren't they all though? That's my Shirley MacLaine.
Sweet. So first we have chemistry.
0.
Well, wait, who are we?
Any of them.
Anybody in this movie.
I think Jennifer Aniston and Mark Ruffalo, or Jennifer Aniston and Kevin Costner.
See, I disagree. Don't we have? Yeah, we have. I am gonna give romance a 0, but I think chemistry, insofar in that I think it's one of the more realistic relationships I've seen. Just like it's a normal two people who are like friends getting married sort of thing. If we forget about all the having sex with her dad stuff.
Which is easy to do.
Which is so easy to do. I don't know. I feel like he didn't really like...
Okay, how many useless testicles are you giving it?
All right, okay. I'll give it 3.
Really?
Yeah, why not? I'll be nice.
Oh my
I'm
god.
giving it 0 because while I do think that on paper and like the way they were written, Mark Ruffalo and Jennifer Aniston were a good couple, I don't think their performances emulated
had
it.
no
That's
chemistry.
fair.
And
That's
that's what
fair.
the chemistry is for me.
Okay,
I'm giving it
that's
a
fair.
hard 0 too, because Zach and I have more chemistry like waking up and like smacking each other than wait, that's not a thing we do.
You do
As
smack each other a lot.
couples do.
Oh, yeah.
You up? Yeah.
No, I think we have more chemistry sitting on the couch not talking to each other than these two had like in a romantic
Well, if you're talking about
conversation.
acting, sure. I think I'll go with the writing. So 2.5. 2.5.
Okay, he
for me.
takes a half a point back.
Yeah, because you people are peer pressuring me
What
to
do you mean,
so.
you people?
Ooh, men.
This one I feel like isn't even an existing category. Best friends.
I'm gonna say Shirley
Let's.
MacLaine.
Can we call it supporting?
Yeah,
supporting
supporting
cast
Yes,
for this one.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Shirley MacLaine is close because she gives a lot of advice. She's kind of there for Jennifer Aniston. She's sassy. So in this case, I think she kind of takes the role of the best friend.
Yeah, let's give her. She's the supporting.
Okay, yeah.
Friend.
yeah, yeah.
This
Whereas
one.
Mark Ruffalo and Kevin Costner don't get their best friend
No,
roles.
no.
Yeah.
It was Jen Aniston's story.
Well, for Shirley MacLaine, I just like want to give her the highest because she's funny.
I'm gonna
But
give
She
her
was a delight.
I'm giving her a 3 because she.
Yeah.
While she was good, I've seen that character done so much better in
Yeah.
some of the other things.
I'm giving her a 3.5
Okay.
because I'm adding on a half point for Kathy Bates,
Oh, blonde.
who
Kathy
is the
Bates.
mom's best friend. So I think that
I'm
works
also
out.
gonna do a 3 because I liked Shirley MacLaine, but like I don't know, it didn't fulfill like the stereotypical need for like a goofy best friend like I wanted. But
This was
she
certainly not a
delightful.
typical like
Yeah.
rom-com.
Oh no! In fact, I spent the first half hour going, "Is this even a romantic comedy?" Like I truly kept asking.
Yeah, I was like, what genre is this movie? Weird?
It's weird. It makes you feel like there's like bile like
Yeah, yucky.
right under your throat, but you don't want to throw up. But it's not a bad movie.
No, I hated this movie. This was a bad movie, and I felt gross watching it.
Well,
For romance,
agree to disagree.
Eddie
Zero,
gave it a 0.
0,
Zach gave it a
0.
0. The one lick of romance was like the dad at the end,
I guess that's
you
true.
know what?
and so for that I give it a 1.
I'm gonna say 1 because I really liked his speech.
Actually,
you
yeah,
convinced me. I
yeah.
totally forgot about that.
Right.
Thanks,
I
guys.
apologize.
To be I guess in that way, then there were bits of like real romance.
Yeah, and I liked. I don't know. The end was like realistic romance, and
Right,
it was like
right.
kind of nice. I liked
But-
that. I liked the dad's speech
the creepy
most.
like nausea of her possibly like hooking up with her dad
Right.
discounts so much of the
So
positive stuff. Like it just
much.
offsets it in like a really masterful
I feel like
way.
if we like forget about the huge chunk of the middle, it's like not a bad movie, but the middle makes it. It's the most of the film. It is the bulk and plot of the film.
Oh my god. So yeah, ones across the board. One useless testicle.
Ones across the board.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And comedy. What was the comedy?
I'm gonna give it a 1 just for Shirley MacLaine.
Shirley MacLaine.
Yeah, Shirley MacLaine gets the point. So we're gonna add this up and let you guys know how many useless testicles this earns.
Earns. All right, so we added up all the scores, and we give this movie 6 out of 20 useless testicles.
That's
I thought
3
for
Kevin
sure
Costners.
I thought for sure this was going to be the worst scoring movie, but we're just above 2 of our worst films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Shirley MacLaine helped, and Mark Ruffalo.
Shirley MacLaine helped, and
And
the
Richard
romantic
Jenkins.
speech
And the
at
speech.
the
The
end
speech
helped.
helped.
Yeah.
I really don't know how it got higher
Was
than...
it the dad speech from Call Me By Your Name? No. But was it an
But was it
episode
very
of
similar?
Mike Vogel's penis talk? Way better.
Oh boy.
Somewhere in the middle. I love that podcast, though.
I've subscribed, yeah.
You know what? We had... Yeah, I think we may have been generous on some old ones, but this did score on the lower end.
Yeah, not a great movie.
No.
A lot to talk about, a lot to think about. Very confusing.
Very confusing. I recommend that you watch it if you want 2 hours of confusion and disgust.
And just to really feel the guttural, I don't think we've conveyed how like odd and disturbing and
Well,
We
they
all
never
were.
like fully. I don't know. She never gets a paternity test, so all we have is everyone's word.
Which is like, I still would have been skeptical if I met a man who was like, I'm sterile, I can't do babies. I would be like, but maybe.
I wouldn't be like, oh, that means you're a viable romantic partner.
Right.
There's always
right.
like the chance, and I would always have that in the back of my mind, like, but you could be
It
my
really-
dad, and you did my mom and my grandma.
There's a lot of
Just icky,
like,
icky.
It's just like a stretch of the movie where you're just like, oh no,
yucky.
and it's sitting with me wrong, and that's
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
So, God,
If you want a good Rob Reiner film, The Princess Bride.
yeah, I couldn't recommend The Princess Bride enough.
That gets 20 out of 20 useless testicles. You know how you
Okay.
rate kids' movies.
Boy.
Well, this has been a delight.
Thank you for listening. As always, please rate and subscribe. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Let
Leave
us know-
comments. They should leave comments.
If honestly, if you
Can you?
leave
on
comments
the podcasting thing, reviews.
Yeah,
leave
sure.
reviews, please. Like, let us know if you've got any questions or segments you want us to do, or anything at all, movies you want us to check out. Email us at meetcutecast@gmail.com, or get at us at meetcutecast on Twitter and Instagram. We will read and listen to everything you have to say. Once again, the rumor is my name is Zach.
And I'm Eddie P.
And I'm Haley.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.